I once had Dr. Jerry Buss on the radio in L.A., Max and Marcellus, on ESPN radio back in the day in L.A., and we were hosting an event. I'm trying to remember from where, but it was a remote event. You know, we were hosting it from a local business or something like that. And Dr. Jerry Buss was a guest. And I asked him, he had shown up at a Lakers practice. They were struggling. And he put together a team that year that was supposed to win the championship, was supposed to meet the Heat in the championship because they traded for Steve Nash. It was Kobe. I may be getting the time wrong on this. It may have been before the Nash trade. It may have just been the Kobe, Powell, Odom, Bynum team. But he showed up at practice, and I thought, the owner's showing up at practice. The team's struggling. So I'm used to Steinbrenner in New York, you know. Steinbrenner showed up, trying to get whip him into shape. So I asked Dr. Buss, you showed up at practice. What was that about? He said, I wanted to make sure they had everything they needed. Was there anything I could do for them to help them in any way? Do you see the difference? Dr. Buss wanted, and I'm not comparing him to Dolan, one of the biggest loser owners in the history of New York sports. Like, what other loser owner in New York sports history has lost as much as the loser owner, Jim Dolan? How many bigger losers than Dolan? But do you know why? You know who the real losers are? Knicks fans. And do you know who? It's you. It's you who will refuse to root for another team. Look, when the Knicks were the only game in town, I get it. But the Nets are there now. And the reason, competition is good. Monopolies are bad. Monopolies are bad because without competition, businesses can do whatever they want. But the Brooklyn Nets presence means Dolan had to clean up his act. Hire Leon Rose, Worldwide West. Thibodeau, get a good culture in there. Still can't get that his own way. And harassing Patrick Ewing with security. But the point is, the Nets offer you an alternative. And if you refuse to consider the alternative, Dolan will continue to mistreat you, the fan. That's the issue. But so I'm not even comparing Dr. Buss to Dolan. I'm comparing Dr. Buss to the greatest winner owner in recent New York history, George Steinbrenner. But Buss was better than that. Steinbrenner would oftentimes, through the 80s especially, he was destructive to the Yankees. I was used to that culture where he's showing up to really kick everyone's, rear into shape. No, Dr. Buss was showing up, not complaining about how much money he's spending on the team and the luxury tax and they're underperforming. Hey, guys, what can I do for you to make things better? You understand? Dr. Buss bought the Lakers in 1979. They had 6 championships. They now have 17. There's a way to do things. And that is whatever Jim Dolan does, whatever his impulse is, do the opposite of that. Jim, if you're listening, or one of your minions is listening, just do whatever impulse you have. Do the opposite of that. It will only lead to success on the court.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.